What's going on, guys? Alex here with 814EDC, and today I am ready to do my full review of the Artisan Cutlery White Mountain Knives exclusive Mini Arion. Mini Arion, Mini Arion. All my knife buddies and knife friends with other channels call it Arion, but I say Arion, so I don't know which one is right. But nonetheless, the Arion is a really awesome knife. I had high expectations when I got it in, just due to Kevin, Lefty EDC, hyping it up. I believe he called that his. I don't think he said it was his exact budget knife of the year, but it was in the running for it. That has now changed, I believe, due to Kevin getting another knife in, the Kubi Royal, which I actually have in the. I think it's in the mail. I ordered that yesterday. That should be coming to me later this week, so I'm really excited about that one. I'll be getting that in soon. But that none of that regards to what we're talking about here, and that is the Mini Arion. So if you guys know that the Arion is a bigger size knife, it's a frame lock with a titanium. You got the micarta over here, and on the bigger version you have like a titanium frame lock side over here. I believe it's like a 3 3.75 inches blade. It's a pretty big size knife. I had one in over the summer, I believe. Courtesy of the Black Widow Pass Arm group. It was in with a couple other Artisan and CGRB knives, and I really liked that knife. I really liked how thin it was. I really liked the Ergos were awesome, and the middle finger flicking action was because it basically looks just like this knife, just bigger. So you only have a hole for opening, and the middle finger flick was just really, really crisp. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed having that knife in. So when I saw White Mountain Knives doing this as an exclusive, it was a smaller version with a liner lock. I just was like, okay, like when can I buy one? And then I saw it was like $70, 70 something like that, $75. And if you use Kevin, Lefty 10, or I know Casey Knives Fast has I believe it's K Knives Fast 10. I forget what Casey's affiliate link is, or affiliate code for 10% off, but I know he is a White Mountain Knives affiliate. If you use your favorite YouTuber's code, you can get 10% off, and that takes it to below 70. So I think I paid like $68 for this, and I think that's a really, really good deal. I think it's a super awesome route they took to take a $200 knife, or $250 knife actually. I think maybe $270. Somewhere up in that. I actually think it's $270 now that I think about it. And knock it down in size, knock it down in price, put a liner lock on it, deep carry clip, and make it sort of a budget knife. And I think that would attract a lot of people, and I definitely think it has. So I guess we'll just jump right in materials here. We're already a few minutes in, and I'm still rambling. But right off the bat, you have an AR RPM 9 blade here. That is Artisan's proprietary. I can't talk today. It's the blade steel that they came up with in-house, and they seem to be using it on pretty much every one of their budget models. I still see D2 coming out on some of them, but I know this AR RPM 9 is pretty much kind of taking over their budget and sort of mid-range knives. And I don't have any complaints with it. It's done very well for what I use my knives for, and it's done very well from what I've heard from other people as well. So no complaints there. Also on this side, you have the Cerberus Knives logo. This is a Cerberus knife design, which is really, really cool. On this side, you have the Artisan logo. And I would consider this to be sort of a, kind of a drop point or a spear point blade. I like the shape of it a lot. It's very, usable, kind of pokey if you really think about it, but just a good blade shape. This is a flat grind, not full, because you have that, sort of, I don't even say it's a pill shaped, cylindrical hole cut out into the blade there for opening. But I'd say it's about 75%, and it's not the thinnest knife behind the edge that I felt, but it's not super, you know, it's somewhere in the middle, you know, thin enough to still be a very good slicer for things that you need to do with it, but there are definitely thinner knives out there. But again, no complaints really in my opinion. It does what I needed to do. The blade stock is, I'd say, kind of medium thickness. It could be thinner, but it definitely could be chunkier if they wanted to do it that way. You do have a loop over style deep carry clip here that is very, you know, that's kind of the standard deep carry clip that Artisan puts on their knives. And you have this micarta on both sides. You have a micarta backspacer with a little lanyard post there you can put a lanyard through. I'm glad they did that and they didn't include it somewhere like going through the knife. I like when knives include it within like the backspacer that way. I believe they call this like double maroon coral, something like that. I don't, you know, remember the name off the top of my head, but it's like very burgundy, and I think it looks really, really good. It's the same micarta that they use on the, you know, the bigger Arion, excuse me, and now I'm starting to do it. The bigger Arion. Any skeletonizing going on? There is on the show side. There's 3 cutouts milled in there, none on the liner lock. Oh, and there is the liner lock. Forgot to show that to you guys. You do have a pretty nice cutout for the liner lock. You can get your finger in there very easily. And yeah, I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. Flat grind, AR RPM 9, double coral. Yeah, well, with the skeletonizing, you don't really need a whole lot of it because this is already a very lightweight knife to begin with. So I think they did a good job. It's very adequate for what they did. I don't think anything else is really necessary. So next we'll jump into action. And again, you do have a hole here for deployment. There is no flipper tab, there's no thumb stud, you just have this hole. And to me, very similar to the full-sized Arion, the best way to deploy it is by a middle finger flick. It just flies right out of there. You know, it's fun, gives a nice snap. You can thumb flick it, but I always have trouble with like these taller, skinnier holes to really get my thumb in there. I mean, you can. It's definitely, to me, there, I just failed it. To me, it takes a little bit more getting used to than using like a Spidey hole size or like the actual pill shape size on like my f5.5, stuff like that. So that's why I primarily middle finger flick it. It's just, to me, that's the more fun way to do it. That's the more satisfying way to do it. I also have found myself using my pointer finger. I kind of grip it like this, and you can do it that way as well. To me, that I would much rather flick it with my pointer finger than thumb. So really, it's my thumb that I use, which again has a really nice snap. My pointer finger. Wait, did I just say my thumb? My middle finger. I'm sorry if I just messed that up. I don't know why I just said that. My pointer finger snaps right open. And there's just, I don't know why, but I just love that. To me, that's a very satisfying way too. And then again, you can use your thumb, but you kind of have to like push out more instead of up. And it does come out, but you can also slow roll it. But not the best way to do it in my opinion. What else? Take a quick swig of water. Oh, closing action, duh. So again, you have this liner lock here, and you have really good access to it. They have a nice piece of the micarta. You guys can see it again. Nice piece of the micarta milled out there. So you get really good access. I almost said access. Access with your thumb. To me, it falls, hits my thumb, and then one shake closed. It's very smooth. This knife is on bearings. Hits my thumb. And you can see it hits my thumb, and you can really just kind of like wiggle it down. I haven't taken this knife apart. I haven't done any maintenance to it. This is just, I've been carrying it how it is from the factory. And it's, again, very, very smooth. I've just really felt no reason to take it apart. I think the stock bearings are, you know, well deserved for having good praise to them. Just really fun. And if you can kind of do that too, where you do it and you try to pull your thumb out and then it falls almost to the whole way. So action on middle finger flick and your pointer finger flick, very, very good. Your thumb stud. Your thumb action could be better, but again, that's just, you know, how the hole is shaped, and to me, I just find that more difficult to kind of get your thumb in there. but you definitely can do it that way. And then again, closing action, most of the time falls and hits my thumb. There is a secondary detent. So if you break the detent, see it's locked, you break it, you guys can see there's, you can hear it, there's just kind of some, like a secondary detent you have to get by, or like the detent ramp, I guess you could say. That's probably a better term for it. But most of the times, as long as it hits your thumb, shake it closed, action's very, very good. So next we're going to move on to Ergos. And to me, Ergos are really, really good as well. So I do get a 4-fingered grip on here. I just barely get my pinky on there, but I still get a really good grip. There's nothing hanging off. There is some jimping up top here, which I'm, I neither hate nor love jimping. I'm kind of indifferent on it. Like if it's there, I'm like, okay, you got some jimping. If it's not there, I'm like, okay, you don't have jimping. I'm kind of in the middle about it. But to me, this jimping's well done. It's not too aggressive. It's not too, too little of aggressiveness. When I get on there, I can feel my thumb here, and I get locked in pretty well. Sometimes because of how this knife is shaped, I do find myself putting my thumb up farther on the top of the blade stock. If I'm gonna like slice down through cardboard, I like to have that extra control. So it would be nice to maybe put a little bit of jimping out here, but again, not necessary. Excuse me. Yeah, but the handle shape is very, kind of just, I don't know, I'm not talking to Siri. Just very basic. It's all straight back here, and you have a little bit of an indent right here, and then it's straight. It does get a little bit fatter as it goes out, but it's it's very parallel basically. No hot spots. The pot clip does sit a little proud of the scale. Something else I forgot to mention about the pot clip: it is recessed into the scale with recessed screws, which is awesome. I really, really like that about it too. I forgot to mention that earlier, but talking about the pot clip made me think about it. So another really good perk of this knife. But for feeling it, I mean, you can definitely feel it, but to me it only is bothersome if you're like really gripped into this knife, like hard using it. And to me, that is not a knife, or this is not a knife that you're going to be doing that type of stuff with. So for your basic EDC tasks, opening packages, cutting labels, cutting tape, cutting cardboard, you're not gonna you're gonna feel it, but it's not gonna bother you. At least it doesn't bother me in my hands. So yeah, Ergos, really, really good. My main grips here that I always go through, like I don't really use my knife in these funny grips, or I don't want to say funny grips, but abnormal grips. Most of the time I'm here, or I am, here, or I take my pointer finger and out here if I'm like, if I'm doing like draw cuts, or like, drawing through a label or opening a package. A lot of the time I do that because I get more, a little bit more control over the tip. But, to wrap it up, Ergos, very, very good. You get all 4 fingers on there. If you have bigger hands than me, I have larger size hands, but there are men like Kyle, DTM Knives and Gear. He has some ginormous mitts. If he were to hold this, it would probably be a 3-finger knife for him. I don't think he'd be able to get all 4 fingers on there comfortably. He'd definitely be hanging off with his pinky, I would have to say. But yeah, Ergos for me are good, and just very neutral, very comfortable, and very usable. So next on to how does this knife carry? Well, earlier I mentioned that it was very lightweight, and it really is. I think, I don't know the exact weight on it. You guys know I don't look into specs that often, exact weight, exact length, stuff like that. That's just not something that I really care about that often or that much. But it's very lightweight, and that combined with the deep carry clip, I think that this knife carries phenomenally well. You have no rough spots at all. The micarta is all nicely contoured. You have no rough edges or anything like that. Only thing you could really consider a rough edge is the jimping here, but when you have it in, at least for me, for right hand pocket, you're going to have it in your pocket, and all you have is just this nice, no rough edges, no flipper tab to mess with. So if you happen to have to reach your hand in down beside it, you're not going to catch on anything. You're not going to snag on anything. It just really is, an awesome carry, and especially because it disappears into your pocket. I mean, you literally have maybe, you know, a millimeter of knife sticking out of there because this pocket clip just takes it that deep in your pocket. Um, you know, it's still not jeans weather for me yet, so, which I hate. Sort of a little side topic here, but it's, what's today, October 12th, and it is 80 degrees here in Erie, Pennsylvania, and I absolutely hate it. I hate when it gets too hot into the fall, because to me, fall is all about enjoying like you know, to me, fall weather is like 40 or 45 to like 60. Kind of like that nice, you know, it's still warm enough to wear shorts, but I love wearing like a hoodie with shorts out and about. But I do love jeans, so I just, to me, it's very, I get very frustrated with it because you know, we have the whole summer to have hot weather, and the fall is, you know, for that sort of mid-tier warmness before it gets to winter and it's just snowing and cold all the time. And I love winter too. I really don't mind the snow. The coldness kind of sucks, but I like the snow in the wintertime. But yeah, just kind of a little side rant for you guys. So I haven't carried this in jeans yet. I have been carrying this in the back right pocket of my shorts that I wear, because I have told you guys before, I don't like carrying knives in my pockets in my shorts because of how they're shaped. You know, jeans, you go straight down. Shorts, you go like on an angle. And to me, I just prefer the, you know, straight down effect. So I've been trying to carry this when the temperature drops a little bit because I know if it sweats or if it gets really hot, like on a day like today, I probably wouldn't carry it because I would get hot and I sweat a lot. And I don't want the micarta to, you know, soak up all my sweat and just to be like really dark. So I know that was kind of a few minute random ass sort of direction we went, but it carries well. I just wanted to, you know, preface that I have not carried it in my, you know, front right pocket of my jeans, which hopefully the weather, you know, starts to drop here pretty soon and I can start putting them blue jeans on and loading up all my gear into that. But carries very, very well. Lastly, you guys know I like to go over price point and what I recommend. I kind of already hinted on price point earlier in the video. This goes for between $70 and $75. I don't know off the top of my head the exact pricing, but I know I got it for less than $70 with Kevin's code, and I think that is absolutely worth it. You know, the main size or the full size Arion was such a hit. You know, I never even thought of making it in a mini until I saw this and I was like, man, that is a damn good idea. Why didn't someone do it earlier? And I think it's just a really good offering from Artisan. In that price range, I think it's going to attract a lot of people, and I think it already has. You know, you're getting this really nice, this micarta is, you know, I didn't really hit on the micarta itself earlier, but it has a great texture. It's sort of, you know, some micarta can be polished and it can be kind of slippery, and some can be really coarse and really rough. This is kind of right in the middle. I think they did a really good job on it, but you're getting that double coral, maroon, or whatever they call it, micarta. You're getting a nice deep carry pot clip with recessed screws that's also recessed into the scale, which is really, really nice. You're getting a pretty good blade steel, in my opinion, very adequate for this price range in AR RPM 9. You know, you're just getting a really cool design, you know, very utilitarian, very, you know, just sort of simple in my opinion, but very, very good. So I would absolutely recommend this knife. I think that this, you know, should be, you know, included in a lot of people's collections. I think it's just a really good piece, and I'm really glad that Artisan and White Mountain Knives decided to link up for this collaboration. That's what I was looking for. I think that this, you know, with the popularity of this right now, I think it could open doors in the future, and there can be different runs of this. I would love a mini Arion with a liner lock in maybe like full titanium and you know, maybe like S35VN or something like that. That actually leads me to this as well. I was on White Mountain Knives, their website, it was probably last week, just browsing around, and I clicked on their exclusives tab, and they are coming out with, I believe it's a full-size Arion, but in a liner lock, and I think it's OD green micarta for, I think it's like 80 or 85 bucks, which I think is also super, super awesome. I will definitely probably be picking one of those up. I think they're coming out in November. But one has a DLC blade, one has a satin blade, and like I said, it's the full size Arion, so it's like 3 3/4 inches of blade length. But it has a liner lock, and I believe I think it looks like it's like gray micarta, but I think it says it's OD green micarta. And I just think that's super, super cool. You're gonna get, you can get two liner lock versions, the small one and the full size one, and that's awesome. And I'm super glad that, you know, White Mountain Knives is deciding to do that as well. So, like I said, I think that's coming out in November. I don't know the specific date, but I'll definitely be on the lookout for that because for $85, 80, probably less than $80 with someone's coupon or discount code, that sounds like another awesome deal. So, but back to the Mini Arion, I would absolutely recommend this knife. I think it's phenomenal for the price point. Good ergos, good materials, just a good design, supporting Cerberus knives and supporting Artisan, supporting White Mountain Knives, just all around. I mean, I can't think of a single thing to complain about this knife. I think that this is a good knife, whether you're starting out and you want to maybe purchase this for your first knife, or, if you're someone like me, you have a pretty modest collection, or someone that has 40, 50, 70, 80 million knives. I just went out of order there, but I think it deserves a spot in anyone's collection, new, experienced, small, big, anything like that. I think that this is a good knife. So I will quit ranting and raving about this guy. Again, this was my full review of the Mini Arion, made by Artisan Cutlery, designed by Cerberus Knives, and produced by or sold by White Mountain Knives as an exclusive. So thank you guys so much. I love you guys as always. Please leave a comment down below. I love talking to you guys. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out.